Welcome to SATV News. This is Qazi Farhana with your headlines. Nation observing final day of 3 days till morning over Khaleda Zia's Day. Special prayers offered across the country. Mahmudur Rahman Manna's nomination cancelled for Bogora 2. Nomination papers of one candidate in Rangpur 1 constituency was declared cancelled. Awami League has lost public acceptance, says Chief Advisor Press Secretary. Now in details. The nation is observing the last day of the 3-day state mourning following the death of the three-time former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus, in a televised address to the nation on Tuesday, declared the 3-day state mourning starting from Wednesday as well as one-day general holiday on Wednesday. On this occasion, the national flag has been kept at half-mast at all government, semi-government, autonomous institutions, educational institutions, all public and private buildings, as well as at Bangladesh missions abroad. Khaleda Zia, who breathed her last on Tuesday morning, was laid to eternal rest with full state honor beside her husband, Shahid President Zia Rahman's grave at Zia Uddan in the capital on Wednesday. Before the burial, millions of people from all walks of life, including foreign guests and diplomats, joined the Namazi Janaza of BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia at Manik Mia Avenue in the capital. Special prayers were offered after Jummah in mosques across the country today, seeking eternal peace for former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia. A prayer meeting was held after Jummah prayers at Bogora Central Mosque. District BNP, Jubodol and Chatrodol leaders participated in it. Special prayers were held in mosque in Borishal. Leaders and activists of BNP and its affiliated organization were present at the prayers held after Friday prayers at Chondrima Mosque in the city. The special prayer was held at the Khulna Town Mosque under the initiative of the Metropolitan BNP. Devotees who came for Jummah prayers also participated in the prayer. In addition, special prayers were organized at various mosques under the initiative of the Metropolitan and District BNP. The Election Commission remains busy scrutinizing the nomination papers submitted by candidates ahead of the 13th National Assembly election. The process will continue until January 4 in the offices of divisional commissioners across the country as well as in the EC offices in each district. The nomination paper of Nagoric Oikyo President Mahmudur Rahman Manna has been cancelled for Bogora 2 constituency. District Returning Officer and Deputy Commissioner MD Taufikur Rahman announced the decision today at around 3:30 p.m. after completing scrutiny of the nomination papers. According to the returning officer, Manna's nomination was cancelled due to inconsistencies and discrepancies in the information submitted in his affidavit. Meanwhile, the nomination papers of candidates for 3 of the 6 parliamentary constituencies in Borishal have been selected in the first phase. The returning officer has announced the cancellation of the nomination papers of 2 candidates from Shodur 5 constituency. BNP has decided to remove all its banners and posters from across the country, including Dhaka, within next 3 days, following instructions from party acting chairman Tariq Rahman. Senior Joint Secretary General Luhul Kabir Respeturi inaugurated the banner and poster removal campaign in front of the BNP Central Office at North Bolton. However, banners and posters expressing condolences over the recent death of BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia will remain for a few more days, while all other banners and posters are being removed, party leaders said. Earlier in the day, a meeting was held at the BNP Central Office with senior leaders of the party's Dhaka North and South City units, as well as leaders of its associate bodies Jubodol, Shebok Dal and Chatrodol. Rizvi attended the meeting and issued key directives regarding the campaign. Speaking to reporters after inaugurating the program, Rizvi said that while banners and posters are a form of political expression, their excessive use harms the beauty and aesthetic appeal of the city. BNP Standing Committee member Amir Khosrow Mahmood Choudhury today said the country must move forward by upholding the vision and ideals of former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. He made the remarks in the morning at the Chattogram Parade Ground during a memorial event for the Buddhist spiritual leader, the most venerable Shanghuraj Ganasri Mohathera. Khosrow said people across South Asia and around the world are mourning Khaleda Zia's death. Her philosophy, ideals and consciousness must be embraced in our hearts. She was an epic figure and a globally renowned personality, he said. Chief Advisor Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam has said that the Awami League no longer enjoys public acceptance and that he sees no future for the party in Bangladesh's political landscape. Speaking to journalists this morning after visiting the Gaura Gopal Sheba Ashram in the New Bazar area of Magura, Shafiqul said the ruling party has lost its credibility among the people. The Awami League has no acceptance among the public anymore. I do not see any future for the party in the politics of Bangladesh, he said. The press secretary alleged that many Awami League leaders and activists who are currently abroad are spreading misinformation. Vegetable chicken prices go up in Dhaka. The prices of vegetable and chicken have gone up in the capital's kitchen markets. Although onions and potato prices were somewhat lower, other seasonal vegetables remains relatively high today. Over the past week, broiler chicken prices have risen by Taka 20, selling at Taka 170. The price of Sonali chicken has increased by 30 to 40 Taka, now costing 270 Taka per kg, while red layer chicken has gone up by 30 Taka, selling at Taka 280. Vendors said that the cold weather is affecting supply and pushing up prices. Most winter vegetables have gone up by Taka 20 to Taka 40 per kg over the week. Tomatoes are being sold at Taka 100 per kg, beans are at 80 Taka, bitter gourd at 60 Taka, eggplants at 60 to 80 Taka, pointed gourd at 100 Taka, carrots at 60 Taka, rich gourd at 100 Taka. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 রবার্টস লেন, সিঙ্গাপুর 218302। ফোন 0065 629 24900।
Welcome back to watching SATV News. News from abroad. Several people were killed during the ongoing protest in Iran. Iranian media and rights groups said on Thursday as the biggest protest to hit the Islamic Republic for 3 years over worsening economic condition. At least 3 were killed and 17 others were injured at protests in the city of Azna in the Iran's northeastern province, according to Iran's semi-official First News agency. Meanwhile, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian on Thursday acknowledged that failings by the authorities were behind the crisis in Iran that has sparked protests across the country. The clashes between protesters and scrutiny forces marked a significant escalation in the unrest that has spread across the country since shopkeepers began protesting over the government's handling of a sharp currency slide and rapidly rising prices. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday that if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, the United States will come to their rescue. U.S. is locked and loaded and ready to go, he said in a Truth Social post. Trump's comments follows the deaths of the several peoples as Iran's biggest protest in 3 years over economic hardship turned violent across multiple provinces. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Advisor Larzani said Donald Trump should know that U.S. interference in Iran protesting issue is equivalent to chaos across the entire region. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani gave a soaring inaugural address on Thursday in front of thousands of New Yorkers and political luminaries, including Senator Bernie Sanders and Representatives Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, laying out what he called audacious plans to govern the city with a focus on working-class New Yorkers. During this speech, Mamdani declared that he would govern the way he campaigned as a democratic socialist and said that meant he would focus on working-class New Yorkers regardless of criticism from naysayers. Mamdani highlighted many of those points in his speech, which celebrated the diversity, food and culture of New York City. He reiterated his pledge to attempt to tax the wealthy and corporations to fund his proposals, which include universal child care and free buses. In one of his first acts as New York City Mayor, Mamdani signed an executive order to revoke all orders issued by his predecessor, Eric Adams, after his September 2024 indictment.
States that I will support.
Chinese war games around Taiwan unnecessarily spiked tensions in the regions, the U.S. State Department said Thursday, calling on Beijing to cease its military pressure. China's military activities and rhetoric toward Taiwan and others in the region increased tensions unnecessarily. U.S. urges Beijing to exercise restraint, cease its military pressure against Taiwan and instead engage in meaningful dialogue. State Department spokesperson Tommy Piggott said in a statement. Beijing launched missiles and deployed dozens of fighter jets, Navy ships and Coast Guard vessels on Monday and Tuesday to encircle Taiwan, saying the drill simulated a blockade of the self-ruled island main ports. Taipei condemned the exercises as highly provocative. Russia said on Thursday it had extracted and decoded a file from Ukrainian drone downed earlier this week that it said shows it had been targeting a Russian presidential residence and that it would hand over the relevant information to the United States. Moscow accused Kyiv on Monday of trying to strike a residence of President Vladimir Putin in Russia's northern Novgorod region with 91 long-range attack drones. It said Russia would review its negotiating positioning in ongoing talks with the U.S. on ending the Ukraine war. Ukraine and Western countries have disputed Russia's account of the alleged attempted strike. The Wall Street Journal reported on Wednesday that U.S. national security officials had found Ukraine did not target Putin or one of his residences in a drone strike. Ukraine has denied carrying out such an attack. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung will focus on China's efforts towards peaceful in the Korean Peninsula during a state visiting from January 4 to 7 that aims to restore ties, presidential advisor Wi Song-lak said on Friday. South Korea will urge China's constructive role so that the fully restored South Korea-China relations can contribute to a breakthrough in resolving the Korean Peninsula issue, said Wi during a briefing at the presidential office in Seoul. The Lee administration has said it aims to restore ties with Beijing, acknowledging China is South Korea's largest trading partner.
한반도 문제 해결의 돌파구 마련에도 기여할 수 있도록.
Supporters of Yemen's main southern separatist group, the Southern Transitional Council, rallied in the southern port city of Adana on Thursday to demand succession from the north. The protest took place as the internationally recognized government is demanding that the STC withdraw its forces from the areas it seized earlier in December in the eastern provinces of Hadramaut and Mahrab. Saudi Arabia has also called on the UAE-backed STC to withdraw its forces from the two provinces after the group claimed broad control of the south and pushed the Saudi-backed internationally recognized government from its headquarters in Aden.
الفساد بما فيها حرب 94 حرب 2015.
Heavy rains and snowfall in Afghanistan have ended a prolonged dry spell but triggered flash floods in several areas, killing at least 17 people and injuring 11 others, said authorities. The dead included 5 members of a family in a property where the roof collapsed on Thursday in the Kabakan, a district in the Herat province. Mohammad Yusuf Saidi, spokesman for the Herat governor, said 2 of the victims were children. Most of the casualties have occurred since Monday in districts hit by flooding. And the severe weather also disrupted daily life across central, northern, southern and western regions, according to Mohammad Yusuf Hamad, according to a spokesman for the Afghanistan National Disaster Management Authority. Before ending, I'll go through the headlines again. Nation observing final day of 3-day state mourning over Khaleda Zia's date. Special prayers offered across the country. Mahmoud Rahman Manna's nomination cancelled for Bogora 2. Nomination papers of one candidate in Rangpur 1 constituency was declared cancelled. Awami League has lost public acceptance, says Chief Advisor Press Secretary. You're updated with our top story so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.